you're thinking, I'm not making excuses, okay? I could have gotten back into my YouTube game sooner than now, but what's important is that I'm back and I'm so excited about this new series. And I just need to update you guys on what's been going on the past few months. So as you guys know, I was doing this like building phase and like holding myself accountable at the beginning of the year for a very specific reason, which I will share. And I was tracking my macros, I was crushing my lifts. I'm just gonna put it out there. I originally had plans to compete in the wellness division. Feels weird to say that out loud. I was really considering like hiring a coach and doing the prep and getting on stage and doing a bodybuilding competition. And that was my whole reason behind like holding myself accountable first and living that lifestyle before I really jumped into something like that. And I'm so glad I did that, and I'm so glad that I waited, because I know myself and I get very excited about goals, and I can be a little impulsive in a way. And I didn't want to right away at the beginning of the year when I had that idea that I wanted to compete, I wanted to be sure, okay? Because if I was gonna do it, I wanted to be successful and I wanted to do it well. And bodybuilding is something that absolutely you have to dedicate everything to, right? It's very involved. And I knew that, and I wanted to make sure that that was what I wanted to do. So what I told myself was, you know what? Check back in with yourself in the summer, like in June, and see where you're at that time, and if you're still wanting to compete. And I'm so happy I did that, because of course, and I shouldn't be surprised, but my goals, at least for now, have changed, and the whole competing thing is gonna be put somewhere for later, maybe, right? Like, it's something that I do think I would love to just to experience. I definitely know that myself, I don't want to be like a professional bodybuilder. I enjoy too many other types of movement, and I don't want to like track my food down to the gram to be a professional bodybuilder. So it was more something that I was like, you know, this would be super cool to do and have the experience and to push myself to that extreme. But and so anyway, that may be something down the road that I do. But this brings me to my new series. And I did do a fat loss phase, which I'll tell you guys about that. I was successful in that. Go me. This new series, though, is called Strength to Endure, because I'm officially training for my first marathon. Yeah, a little bit of a switch from bodybuilding focus to marathon focus. I will definitely be continuing, and have been still, strength training. That is very important to me. If you know me and follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you know I'm a huge advocate for runners to do strength training. And since my background is primarily in strength training, I don't ever see myself letting go of strength training in general, even if I am training for a marathon race. So for those who don't know, I ran my first half marathon back in 2021. Loved preparing for that. I decided to do the half marathon in 2021 because I wanted to get outside of my comfort zone. That's like really at the core of who I am and my essence as a person, is I like to do things that challenge me and that require me to kind of like to not be good at something, if that makes sense. Like, I want to show myself that I can do hard things if I plan and train for them. And preparing for my half marathon a couple years ago was super fun. My time was 2 hours and 7 minutes, and I remember getting done. When I went into my half marathon, I was so nervous about bonking or like getting to a point where I was like in pain, or like I just like couldn't go anymore. So I definitely feel I went into that race very conservative, and I didn't race it, if that makes sense. Like, I was running it very calm and easy for the whole race, which I think is important to do at certain aspects of your race for something like a half marathon. But there also then is a point where you want to push it, and I just didn't really understand that at the time. So regardless, I ran in 2 hours and 7 minutes, and since then I've ran a couple 5Ks, a couple 10Ks, And now I'm finally taking the plunge in training for a marathon. Brandon is also training for that marathon with me, and we are running it October 15th, I believe is the date, at the Long Beach Marathon. So I'm really pumped and really excited. There is something about me that I truly love to run, and I can't believe I can say that. Running used to be something, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, that I used as punishment or because I wanted to be smaller, or it was a tool I used at the very, very beginning of my fitness journey when I wanted to simply lose weight, and I would run myself into the ground for an hour every single day after school. We had this old treadmill that was my great grandma's. When she passed away, we got this treadmill, and it was very old, and it did go on an incline, but you had to manually do this incline. And long story short, I burnt the motor out on that treadmill because I was using it so much. So I'm just really thankful for the growth in mindset that I've had around running. It's something that I really respect and appreciate now and truly enjoy. So I'm going to be sharing that in this new series, Strength to Endure, a really popular, trendy kind of title out there now is hybrid athlete, hybrid training. And, I definitely feel I fall under that category. I'm someone who lifts weights and also runs. And so if you are interested in combining those two things, definitely stick around because if you don't know, I am also a coach. I am a certified personal trainer, but I also am a certified strength and conditioning specialist, or a CSCS through the NSCA. And I have had that designation for about a year now. So I do have knowledge behind these things and will for sure be sharing my perspective and my approach behind how I'm going to do my training for all of this. Before I forget though, let's talk about my fat loss phase, because that was what I told you guys was going to be the next series, right? I was getting ready to do that at the beginning of the year, and I was like, after I move, I'm gonna start it, which I did, and my whole plan was to document it. I didn't do that. I will say I was successful in my fat loss phase. However, it just reminded me and showed me that I much rather train and live a lifestyle still around fitness and around, living, being healthy and eating well and fueling my body. But having a specific aesthetic goal or purely focusing on fat loss is actually very challenging for me. I have done it many times, but I know myself and I can get very extreme. And I was doing my fat loss phase because I was wanting to lean out a bit. I was getting ready for a photo shoot, which again, if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen my headshots, and they turned out amazing. I felt super confident at my photo shoot. So I am proud of myself for what I was able to do. However, again, it reminded me that I don't want to purely focus on aesthetics and just fat loss. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard mental game for me, and I know long term for me, it's not healthy to live that way. I don't know if I'm explaining this exactly, but my food got very low towards the end of my fat loss phase. My cardio was super high. I was doing minimum 40 minutes on the stairs each day, oftentimes more than that. I was still strength training. I was also, dancing. And so just balancing a lot and not eating a lot of food. And I did what I felt was necessary at the time, but I know that long term that's not sustainable, period. I did get a DEXA scan at the beginning of my fat loss phase and at the end, so I will post those results on the screen or something here. I believe, if I remember correctly, I ended up losing 6 pounds of fat. I increased my lean tissue as well, which is super cool, meaning I put on more muscle during my fat loss phase. So if anyone says that you can't put on muscle while losing fat, I'm not gonna say it's optimal, but it's not impossible. Honestly, I was like, okay, my photo shoot came around, I was sick, we did it, we looked, lean, I felt confident, and I still feel like I look great right now. I for sure put on a little bit more, a couple pounds since the end of my fat loss phase, simply because I'm eating more, right? Like I said, and I'm okay with that. I feel so much better having this type of goal now, and so yeah, I don't know. Still cool that I proved to myself that I could do it. So stay tuned for more videos in the new Strength to Endure series. Thanks for being here. Thanks for catching up with me. Let me know what questions you guys have about combining running and lifting, aka hybrid training. I have something really exciting that I'm working on right now that's going to be free to my friends out there who are also wanting to combine running and lifting, or people who are training for a fall race right now. So stay tuned for that. It's still in the works. It's not finished at this point. I've been thinking a lot what my goal and my mission is with what I do and what I share on social media. And a huge part of that is educating and getting more people to move and to be active. I know I have my preferred ways to move. I love lifting weights and being strong. I love running. I love dancing. I love hiking. Those are kind of my top 4 things that I do. But if I can inspire anyone out there to do any of those things or something else, maybe you like to swim, maybe you like to go for bike rides, I don't know, anything else you might like to do, group fitness classes, Pilates, yoga. If I can inspire you to do that, then I am living in my purpose and leaving a positive impact on people. So I will keep you guys updated once that whole project is ready. Again, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe so you don't miss any videos from me. And if there's one thing I can leave you with, it's to don't just talk about it, but be about it.